All right. Welcome, everybody. Make sure you hit that like button, share it, and join in on the conversation. Don't be shy. I'm a nice guy. I really am. I swear it. All right. So, we got some things to get into. I think am I started on Facebook? Let's boot us up on Facebook. Go live. All right. Welcome, Facebook family. Again, don't forget to hit the like button. Share the videos, make some clips, join in on the conversation. I'm a nice guy. Like I was saying, I'm a nice guy. Join in on the conversation. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Hang on a second. Okay. Forgive me. Forgive me. That was my brother, and I had to answer the phone. Let's see. Let's get the. That's weird how it makes the pop out chat for Facebook so huge. All right. Put you there. OBS. Put you there for levels. Okay. 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 We're rocking and rolling. We're rocking and rolling. So, excuse me, gang. We got some things to get into, don't we? I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but things have been getting a little heated in the state of California, in the city of Los Angeles. I don't know if you've been noticing. I've been noticing. I've been noticing. It's been nonsense. Total nonsense. We'll get into it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a little bit what's going on in the political climate. We're going to talk about California and the crap that they're trying to pull with this mileage tax. We got a lot to cover. We got a lot to cover. And you know what, gang? We're about to get into it right now. What up, what up, what up? Not only Kick and YouTube and Facebook as well. So, if you're watching in on any of those platforms, feel free to join in on the conversation. Okay? Would love to have you. All right? So, what are we going to get into first, huh? Let's see. Let's see what I have queued up for us. Oh, and happy Black History Month, by the way. Happy Black History Month. Um, as far as what's going on in Los Angeles, and I know we're all seeing, I'm sure we've all seen this clip. If you haven't, it's just it's total theater, total foolishness. Um, which is why when these foolish leftists, paid activists that think that they're modern day Spartans, whenever contact, the contact element of the sport comes into play, they fold and crumble like wet toilet paper because naturally they just, they're they're acting. To me, they think it's all an act, and they're out there to do a job, and they think at the most they'll get put in handcuffs, they'll get arrested, they'll get bailed out, and no big deal. But luckily, um, the LAPD has decided that they were actually going to do what they were supposed to do and start shutting the foolishness down. So we love that, love to see it. But let's get into this clip right here. Let me show you guys this. Deportation! Up with liberation! Down with deportation! Now let's just start with the stupidity of this chant. Let's start with the beginning. Let me rewind it. What are these? I'm trying to be better, and I'm trying to not just call people idiots. But this is stupid. Let's look at the signs first. Solidarity, workers' struggle has no borders. Like, what does that even mean? How do you just expect the United States of America only to just have no borders? It makes no sense. The whole system is guilty. Shut it down. Guilty of what? Enforcing the law? Come on, people. Come on. What are we doing? What, you know? And listen, I could show you, and you know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I will show you clip after clip after clip with description of people who did it the right way. What do you guys think? What do we think of that? What do we think about while we have clowns of the highest order just causing ruckus? For people who are cutting the line and cheating the system, why not we show the faces and the emotions of those that didn't and did it the right way, and the pride that they have in what they just accomplished? Those are the ones, excuse me, those are the ones that need to be glorified. Those are the ones that need to be defended. Those are the ones on top of, well, they're American citizens. So those are the ones also being truly assaulted in this. You on the left, you're not on the side of the right, of righteousness, just because of your emotions. You're not. You can't think that you're on the side of righteousness when you're combating simple and moral laws. You can't be bad and be good. Well, in the same action. Like, you think that, like they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I understand. I can understand why somebody would be on the side of the left with this issue. I get the emotional aspect of it, right? I totally understand. I do. But despite that, you still, like I said, have those people coming from the same situations, because it's not all just South, but coming from many similar situations all over the world that did it the right way. What about them? What about them? Why are we disrespecting them? Why are we spitting in their faces? Which is ultimately what all of these people are doing here. Literally spitting in the faces, defecating on those who chose to follow the law. I mean, it's fascinating. Fascinating to see. So we'll hear the chants, and you know, feel and decipher. Thank you, Christian Prince. Let me get you out of there. Feel and decipher the foolishness.
Deportation! Up with liberation!
Not liberating.
Down with deportation! From Palestine to Mexico!
From Palestine. What does that even mean? So we're just supposed to just let. Idiocracy is becoming a documentary. From Palestine to Mexico. The Mexicans don't even let the El Salvadorians run through like that. They only let them through if the train doesn't stop in Mexico and it comes straight here. The country that they're coming from, south of the border, and literally every other country that anyone not from this country immigrates here from, they all have stricter border laws than we do. Like, you get deported for far less. This wouldn't happen in Spain. This type of thing, this nonsense here, this isn't happening in Spain.
The border have got to go! Down with deportation!
And I mean, obviously, you can look at some of these people, and they're white liberals.
Down with
Getting to most of them is
deportation!
important.
No wall!
Sanctuary! He lost the chant.
The people united will never be defeated!
What does this say?
No Trump!
The people united will defend immigrant families. You see, if you're here and you got everything in order, you got nothing to worry about. I think we may do that. I think we may, after we go through these clips, we may just start showing the ones that did do it right. Did do it right. Because these Democrats are out of control. They're storming federal buildings. And we're not talking like January 6th stuff. These are just a bunch of people literally lighting cars on fire. This wasn't in L.A., but in another instance, agent got his finger bit off. True story. This stuff has just been so out of control, and the ones that think that they're vigilantes, modern day Avengers or the Justice League. Like, you guys are not. You're the Legion of Doom. Um, just brainwashed your Hydra. Literally. It's insane. It's totally insane. Absolute lawlessness.
No KKK, no fascist USA! One struggle, one fight!
Let's go back here. Did they just say no KKK?
No KKK, no.
Now, hang on. I want you guys. Now, I wish I could zoom in a little more, but I can't. But I think that you can see the general makeup of the crowd. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think about history real quick. All right. I want you to think about the Triple K. All right. King Krusty Crew. You know who I'm talking about. Triple K. White hoods and such. I want you guys to think about them and who it was that they were after, and see if. No, I know the screen's kind of I can't make it any bigger. Here we go. Yep, that's right. Wisdom 311. Yeah, King Krusty Crew. We're gonna look here. Do we see the, I guess, makeup of the type of person that would be oppressed by the KKK? Just throw, what do you think? You think maybe her in the front in the green, right there? What about him on the stop sign? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Farmer John, for sure. Absolutely. Jake, the original Jake, from State Farm. After they cut him. So, as you can see, it's total foolishness. Well, let's continue. We're almost done with this.
Fascist USA! No Trump! No KKK, no fascist USA! One struggle, one fight! One struggle, one fight! All unite for immigrant rights!
All unite for immigrant rights!
One struggle, one fight!
One struggle.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you this isn't exactly your Honda Civic of liberal woman. This is more like Toyota Corolla. This is more the Corolla. We see the rhythm, trying to get the chants going. But even in this freeze frame, you see the absolute cluelessness here. You see it. You feel it. You feel the energy of just absolute malnourished liberal cluelessness. This is a woman, the typical liberal woman who was more focused on social justice than just having some kids and chilling the fuck out. And now she's here. Excuse my language. And now she's here chanting and screaming in the middle of the night about immigrants who could not give a damn about her. And you know what's the funniest about this is if they all of them together, if they all cared that much, just sponsor the families. Just sponsor them. Just take financial responsibility for them while they go through the process. But they won't do that. Oh no, they won't. Not at all. And why is that? Well, we all know the answer. But later, I was saying it earlier when we booted this baby up. I was saying, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start showing some videos of the ones that got in line, did it the right way, and just show the pride and the emotion that they have becoming American citizens. And we're going to see, you know, who's the better one to back coming from the same country and or situation from a foreign nation, you know, and we'll you know.
One fight!
All unite for immigrant rights!
All unite for immigrant rights!
Oh, you know, no, I'm not going to do it. I know you see, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I saw her. Oh, we're going to get the footage. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I have another clip for us. It looks like we have another liberal leftist lunatic stormed a synagogue. Is that what I'm saying here? Thank you, Wisdom 311, for that follow. Appreciate you. Oh, this is a New York synagogue over a New York rep supporting ICE. Get a load of this. Get a load of this. Notice the difference in response. Good on you guys. If y'all would have tried that in my church, it would have been a bad deal. You would not have had a good time. But look at this.
You're gonna touch me, Alex Preddy, Renee Good, Keith Porter, Parody Law. These people were killed by ICE this month. You're gonna throw me out? These people, 9 people were killed by ICE this month, and you're throwing me out while I'm reading their names? How dare you? How
Thank you.
dare You're funding our occupation. You're gonna
And you know, soy boy. As you can see, typical. This is Honda Civic liberal right here. This is Honda Civic liberal. Okay, this is a young man. Look at this. We're gonna look at this.
touch me, Alex Preddy, Renee Good, Keith.
Young man, but clearly soy pumping through his veins as this elderly man comfortably, I would say late 60s, early 70s, someone's grandfather, old enough to be his father. Look at the manhandling.
Keith Porter, Parody Law. These people were killed by ICE this month. You're gonna throw me out?
Look at this.
These
Look at this.
people, 9 people were killed by ICE.
Look, the veins. Do you see the veins bulging? Do you see? He's gone pink. Look at the complexion. Look at Farmer John, right? And then let's look at Sheen from Jimmy Neutron. Look, he's given everything he's got.
This month, and you're throwing me out while I'm reading their names? How dare you?
His pants don't even fit.
You're gonna throw me out? These people,
The jeans are too
9
big.
people were killed by
Let's get
ICE.
what's going on here? So many. Who let him? First of all,
This month, and you're throwing me.
somebody was supposed to be watching him. Somebody was supposed to be watching him, and somebody was supposed to be making sure he took his meds, and they let him off the hook. And he ran into a synagogue and just started spouting nonsense. And then someone's grandfather had to, we have freaking Captain America here at the end of Infinity Wars had to freaking tap into it 30 years in the past to
Hey,
get
while I'm reading their names, how dare you?
Thank you.
unreal. Unreal. That's the left. This is the left, people. This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're up against. This is what we're up against. We have to deal with foolishness of the caliber of those like Jamel Hill, who will get on CNN on just days before Black History Month, spouting about white supremacy and that the president is racist, while I kid you not, and remember this is failed ESPN journalist Jamel Hill. The logic here: white supremacy, white people are bad, heebie skeebie, schmah man schmah. And you get on CNN wearing a blonde wig, wearing a ridiculous blonde wig. And then you get up here and start to spout about racism and white supremacy. She is the worst. ESPN, it was her, Carrie Champion, absolute embarrassments. But to get on ESPN, listen to this. Hey, why would you get up there with a beach Barbie wig on, like trying your hardest to look like a white girl? And you want to sit here and talk about being black and a victim. It's total leftist nonsense. Absolute nonsense. We're this minute's this clip is a minute and 42 seconds long. Thing is, she had a voice. Dude, you know what? Black women, you guys have to stop being just the tip of the spear for stupidity for CNN. It has to stop. Jamel Hill, Abby Phillips. God, what was the other one that was calling a homeboy? It said that Shark Tank guy was in a cult. I mean, the stupidity should be studied. But Jamel, really, we got to start this. We got to start this.
We need to remind ourselves of the racial element of this. There is a reason why I think Donald Trump not only picked independent journalists, but black journalists in particular. Clearly, we know there's no love lost between Don Lemon and Donald Trump, that he's been very critical of the president. The president they've gone back and forth. But if we go back and undo all the layers of all of this, it was black journalists that were really at the forefront of calling Donald Trump out, from the birtherism movement throughout a lot of the things that they saw early before the rest of the press really picked up on.
Now, first of all, black journalists were not at the forefront of calling out the president. Idiot black politicians, maybe, calling him out for things that have already been disproven, already been debunked, and now the clapping seals of the left just continue to spout the same freaking nonsense. Oh, he was a purple, he was better, and they all just keep getting sued because it's not true, just total nonsense. But these two right here, and Abby, I pray with blonde, dude, the blonde hair it's the most infuriating part of the whole thing. It's like the audacity of all the things to talk about, of all the victim cards to pull. You literally get on there with the Malibu Barbie wig on. You are much darker than this, sweetheart. What is, like, come on now. Come on. What are we doing? And Abby Phillips, you have such potential. You could be something so great with reporting, and yet you just Laura Laura Croft swan dive off the top of the cliff into the just deep pool of stupidity and just shoot straight, I mean, fingertip to the bottom. Oh my God, it's tough to see. We're only 38 seconds in.
Some of the things that concerned a lot of black journalists. Hello, me, who also called out Donald Trump in 2017. And the reason why I think he picked these particular journalists is being independent. You don't have the backing of a CNN. You don't have the backing of a big network. The other part of it, too, is that if you can make them the face of this issue that is happening in Minneapolis, we know that given some of the racial issues that we have in this country, it is likely to have a lot less sympathy because they are journalists, one, and people hate the press, and two, because they're black. And so
Oh my
I
God.
do think that that's an important part of this, especially given the president's own.
First of all, a little bit about myself. I'm 39 years old, grew up Southern California, born in Los Angeles, but really grew up in Orange County. And the part of Orange County that I grew up in at the time was a nice area, but it was pretty racist. Pretty racist. Now, I have, growing up the way I did, I have more experience, I would say, with racist and racism than I would say the average black person. I'm not wearing it as a badge of honor, but I've been pulled over by profiling so many times out here in North Orange County, I could probably write a PhD study on how to conduct yourself. I've been pulled over so many times that they've ended up apologizing because they're just like, I'm like, dude, you don't recognize the car right here? Like, it sucks. I know it sucks in a nice neighborhood, but dude, I freaking live here. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. Our bad, our bad. Thanks for being so cool. That was after like the third time. So, one thing I can tell you about racist and white supremacists, because I've actually exchanged blows with them, they do not mess with black people. A white supremacist president is not going to have blacks in his cabinet because he's a white supremacist. They're not going to have Jews in their cabinet because they're white supremacists. So with those two things in mind, when you sit here and say that the president is a white supremacist, let's look at the case example in front of us. Several black members of his cabinet, there were several in the last administration. Well, that doesn't check out with something a white supremacist would do. Huh. I know that we know he's a proponent of Israel. Well, that's certainly not something a white supremacist would do. So, what are we left to understand here? If we use our critical thinking skills instead of our Malibu Barbie wig and our CNN paycheck, we can see that if the president were a white supremacist, he'd be one of the worst white supremacists to ever bear the flag. The stupidity is amazing. Let's continue. Continue, Jamel. Just continue embarrassing me.
Language when it comes to anti-DEI and making black people the face of woke and all that we've heard from this administration.
First of all, I love how black people spout about DEI when all the benefactors of DEI seem to be like trans women, aka men cosplaying as women, or lesbians. Like I've never really seen like a legitimate like high profile DEI that did not fall under the category of like lesbian of any race, primarily white, or of the trans persuasion. So I don't know why she brings that up.
All of this is combined together and meant to drum up a certain sentiment against these journalists so that people are supporting their own rights being eroded because of who they think it's happening to. Even if
Now, again, what Malibu Barbie is spouting about right now, what she's crying about is that hack fraud journalist Don Lemon, aka Don Lemon, aka Fraud Lemon, aka Fraud Lemon, thought it would be a bright idea to storm a church with a league of morons. There was many of them. Disrupt service because a member of the pastoral staff was a high-ranking member of the local ICE agency. Now, what Mr. Lamone tried to do after the fact was say that he was just reporting, exercising his First Amendment rights, and that he wasn't actually a part of disrupting anything. But, while he might be a little off center, he still is a black man. And I don't know what it is about us. I don't know what it is about my people. But for some odd reason, many of us just we can't not film ourselves committing the crime. So what Mr. Lamone, he tapped into his inner ghetto self, because we all got it. Every single one of us got it. All right. It don't matter how well they hide it. Tiger's got it. It's there. Okay. And in moments, I believe the Boondocks called it nigga moment. And they, obviously had it usually with things getting physical. But Don Lemon had himself a numb digger moment. We'll kind of be family friendly. He had himself a numb digger moment and filmed himself meeting with the group beforehand, filmed the planning process, actually said, I'm going to turn the camera away because they're getting up the last bit of planning done. Went up to the pastor. Pastor actually asked him to leave, and he was just like, yeah, nah, bro, I ain't doing that. So, Malibu Barbie is trying to have us believe. She's trying to lead us to believe that he was just minding his own business, just, skipping down the sidewalk, down the snowy sidewalk, and just happened to be like, well, what? Well, there appears to be a church. And gasp. There's a group of people outside it that appears they might be storming the building. Well, it's a good thing I have my mic and camera ready right now. Now I can journal this. I can show the people what's going on in Minnesota as I stand outside. Nope.
We need to remind.
Shut up, Jamel. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. But we did have some sense coming out of California today after the LAPD decided that they were not just going to let a bunch of musty, unemployed liberals storm federal buildings. All right, now we're talking, they had LAPD shows up with like 20, 30 riot cops and just everything just disperses. All these Spartans, all these modern warfare warriors, hundreds of them ran, as soon as any kind of force showed up. But we got LAPD saying that they are not going to enforce Gavin Newsom's ridiculous ban on ICE agents wearing masks to protect them from foolish Karens and liberals doxing them, which is a beautiful thing. It's very rare. It's very rare that we get sense coming out of LA or even as a county as a whole. So this is going to be refreshing. Let's listen to this.
The reality of one armed agency approaching another armed agency to create conflict.
This is the
over
police chief.
something that would be a misdemeanor at best or an infraction. It doesn't make any sense.
Chief McDonald went on to say the state's federal mask ban is not a good public policy decision, adding in his opinion it was not well thought out due to the possibility of conflict between law enforcement agencies. The ban on face coverings, known as the No Secret Police Act, was introduced following immigration raids across Southern California that began last summer. The law went into effect on January 1st, but is not being enforced because the Department of Justice is currently challenging it in court. So far, the judge presiding over that case has indicated that the federal government has a strong argument that this could be discrimination against federal agents, since some California state law enforcement is exempt.
The reality of
it absolutely is discrimination, and good on you. Good on you, sir. Good on you, Jim McDonald. Good on you, sir. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Let's see what we got here. This was last night. Once again, liberal women, I beg you, stay home. Stay home. You are going to get tossed like a rag doll and thrown in jail. Just stay home. And that's the best that could come from this. Stay home. Don't end up like these people where you end up on my stream on multiple platforms. Look at this. Look at this. Why, lady? Why? Malibu Barbie. Malibu Barbie. Do you see? Malibu Barbie.
Oh, dude. Oh, you can't take my phone. You cannot. Oh,
That's the way you go, sir.
Oh, wow. Did you see that? This dude just we're talking pickpocket on the streets of Calcutta. Did you see that swipe? I thought he knocked this. Wow. Look at this. He said, yoink.
oh, dude. Oh, you can't take my phone. You cannot.
That's impressive,
That's
bro.
the way you
That's
go, sir.
impressive.
Hey,
And then you see what happened? Do you see? Do you see? Let's go by this mistake number one. Boom. Mistake number one. This is happening. Boop. Swoop. Swoopy swoop.
Oh, dude. Oh, you can't take my phone. You
Yes, you
cannot.
can.
Oh,
That's the way you go, sir. That's
And then you assault the officer.
hey!
And are we about to get the angle slam?
Get the fuck off.
You stole her phone. Hey!
Angle slam.
Call 911.
Angle slam.
Someone call 911. Call 911. Someone call the police.
Someone called the pigs.
That is assault. That is kidnapping of her phone.
Kidnapping of her phone. Gotta
How
love
is
it.
it legal?
What's your name?
Someone call 911.
You legally have to identify
What's your
yourself.
name?
This
Nope.
is a part of
What's
the
your
Constitution.
name?
Identify
What's your
yourself.
name?
What's your name?
Who are you?
And they just walk away.
Identify yourself. Shame!
Shame.
Legal.
Shame!
Get out of their way, liberals. And where did this people is this the shame stuff from Game of Thrones? When did people just start yelling shame? Did that scene have that much of an impact on liberals? I've never heard people just chanting shame until that scene of Game of Thrones where the homegirl was walking through naked and they're throwing shit at her and all of that. Excuse my language. Did this start with that? What a snatch, though. That thing was impressive. That was impressive. And I don't know if you guys heard about that mileage tax that Gavin Newsom managed to get the ball rolling on. So, guys, we got to get him out. And I'm really liking this guy from Riverside, the sheriff, Chad Bianco. I really think that he can get this place back on track. I don't think he's in it for backroom deals or money to get rich. He seems like a straight shooter. He's got my vote so far. Bianco's got my vote so far. Here he is right here. And if you're in California and you are sick and tired of being the highest tax state in the nation, if you're sick and tired of just this leftist liberal nonsense, they taxed us billions upon billions upon billions of dollars for high-speed rail. They never laid a track. They taxed us billions upon billions upon billions of dollars on homelessness reform, and where our homelessness is next level. So we got to make some changes. If you're in California, Gavin Newsom, the Democrats, they've done enough damage. We got to make some changes, people. And now, on top of us paying the highest gas taxes, there's still some pumps where you're paying $5 a gallon in California. Still, there's some states where they're $2 a gallon, some even less. And in California, we're still at some pumps you're paying $5 a gallon still for gas, and it's all because of Democrat policies. I mean, who else can you blame? You can't blame the Republicans for California. That's the one. I mean, they've gerrymandered. It's all blue, all Democrat. You know, except for you have your little hubs where a lot of the nonsense isn't going on. But explain that to me. But let's hear what Chad has to say.
Hello, California. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco, your next governor.
That's right.
I have to pay vehicle registration today, and it's one of those every single year pains and headaches and heartaches that you have to go through in California. When I have family members and friends that live in other states that pay almost next to nothing for their vehicle registration. And I've been saying all along that California is better than every single state. So you look at your registration, it's actually not a vehicle registration. It's what I've been complaining about everything in California is the regulatory process with fees. Every single thing that you pay is a fee. You're being charged a fee to own and drive a car in California. So with me as your governor, we are going to do away with all of the fees and we will just call it vehicle registration. And it's going to be $25 no matter what type of car you drive, no matter what type of car you buy. $25 flat fee to register your vehicle so we can get you out on the road, get you out of the DMV.
That's, do you see? That's the type of stuff, because this is all fraud. It's all fraud. You think that crap in Minnesota is bad? You think 60,000 Somalians with some daycares is bad? We're talking in Minnesota, we're talking like 10 billion, maybe 12 billion in fraud. California said, hold my beer. We're at like 80 billion in fraud. Highest tax state in the nation, highest sales tax. I don't know, maybe New York. New York might be higher, but our sales tax is crazy. Our income tax is crazy. They're trying to tax us on the miles that we drive, the gas, to everything. In Orange County, I remember years ago they threatened to tax us crazy because we were using too much water. So then we started conserving, and then they upped our water bill prices because they weren't making enough money because we were saving too much water. This crap's got to stop. It's got to stop. And it's unnecessary and it's fraud. Continue, sir.
And make sure that you're legal and put all of that money back into your wallet so you can spend it, because I know you can spend it better than the state can. So add to the list of many things that we're going to make better with me as your governor. Vehicle registration fees will be gone, and we will have one flat charge of $25. Sounds good?
And he can do it because other states can do it. He can do it. Other states can do it. We're going to talk a little bit more about. I'll show you some clips about a little more on this absolute lunatic of a governor that we have and the crap that he's trying to pull here. Let's see.
Quickly tell us about this study to implement a mileage tax in California. You're a California lawmaker, so you know about this.
So California, it's coming. The gas tax revenues have decreased. We don't have money for our roads. So now we're going to tax Californians for every mile they drive, regardless if you drive a gas vehicle or an EV. And if you drive a gas vehicle, you might get double taxed with the highest gas tax rate in the nation, as well as a per mile tax. We're out of money, so we're coming to the taxpayers. It's ridiculous.
Crazy. Allie, quickly tell us about this study to...
Unbelievable. California. California. We cannot let this stand. This mileage tax coming to California, AB 1421, that passed on the assembly floor, and now they're just going to be studying it to see, how much money they can make off of it. What I'm reading is it could result in a 2-car family paying an estimated $4,200. Which I'm guessing would be annually, in additional taxes. Insanity. Insanity. This is the left. This is the left. This is the Democrat Party. There's no one else to blame. Who else in California could you blame? Unreal. Guys, it's incredible. It really is. But it was encouraging to see the LAPD not go with the nonsense. That was very encouraging. But, like I've been saying, luckily for us, these leftists are really no one to fear. Whenever they meet any resistance, they fold like wet toilet paper. So what we got to do is just continue to call out the stupidity. Do not fold. Do not fold for the sake of the feelings of the insane. Okay? Like, listen, this Tim McBride, okay? Tim McBride, it's time to stop playing games. This
And we are here today because while
this is a man, and he holds a political position in our government. 20 years ago, you would have been called insane for suggesting that something like this was possible. I'm tired of sugarcoating. I'm tired of allowing insanity to ensue for the sake of the insane. I don't care if it hurts your feelings if I tell you you are a man. This, like, people, look at where we're at now. Look at where we're at now. Seriously. We've taken a back seat because we didn't want insane people to call us racist or all the different phobes when they're already insane. We gave them an inch, and 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 now we've lapped the world 3 times. At what point do the adults pull the car over and be like, "You guys need to sit down and shut the like people."
we know that Donald Trump thinks that he can place his hands anywhere.
That is a boy, Damon. People. We got to stop this. Okay. There's a certain way things are supposed to go. And when you stray from that, Rome burns. Just look at history. That's why we're so lucky that we got Trump in the second time around, because you see the type of thing that the type of show Tim Walz was running in Minnesota, and then we would have had Kamala, passage of time, Harris in the most powerful position on the planet, leading us on a full sprint to the gates of hell. So we've started to right the ship. I don't agree with everything the president does, but I think domestically he's doing good. Foreign, I'm not too happy. I think he's cozying up to the Abduls a bit too much, but you know, I like the position that we're headed in, and I think stuff like this.
We're telling him, hell no, hands off our Social Security, hands off our Medicaid, hands off Medicare, hands off SNAP, hands off our kids, hands off women's rights.
Hands off our kids, bro. What do you, oh my God, all eyes. I don't know how old that video was, but I haven't seen Tim in a while. I just came across that, and it's just like, oh, are we? Are people? You know, if you remember, I don't know if some of you remember when we were talking about Mondami with our RIP New York stream when he won. I warned you all. I said I was wondering how soon the buyer's remorse would come, and it looks like it took about a month. Soon as this man won, the next day he got on top of the roof of some building and was just like, remember how I told you I wasn't going to need your money? Well, I need your money. His whole we're going to tax the wealthy, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, that's not panning out because people with money have the money to move. So, buyer's remorse seems to be setting in. Buyer's remorse of the highest level, of the highest order, which of course we aren't shocked. But let's see here. Does this thing get any bigger?
That's right, we know about your mom. Now listen, we
Your
was with
mom?
you, Zoran. We voted for you, Zoran. We advocated for you, Zoran. We advocated for you. You ain't getting up and get up in there and lie to us. You lied, Zoran. Shame, Zoran.
Shame! Game of Thrones. They brought drums?
Shame! Shame!
They brought drums. They have instruments. Why is there why who's been supplying the drums? Identify as a largemouth bass. Nice. You know what I wish I could identify as? I wish that I could identify as like a billionaire and like my bank account could like identify as like having like $1 billion in the account. I wish that could work. Why can't that work? Now, you could go out, DePlugo, and you can go, but it won't work. That's the thing. See, you will actually find someone to acknowledge you as a largemouth bass. You will find that person out there that would be like, I respect your identity. There is not a bank in the world that would take that. That I can walk in there and I was like, you know what, my account overdraft. My account identifies as having $1 billion. There's no way that I could overdraft. I need $1 billion in that account. They'll never do it, and that's a shame. And until then, sometimes I prefer to identify as a salmon, and salmon is quite tasty, and I would understand. But if I can't identify as a billionaire and purchase the things that a billionaire can purchase with an account that identifies as that, I'm sorry, I can't play the game. I can't play the odds aren't evenly stacked. All right? You're having me start the basketball game already down 40. It's no good. I don't like it. I don't like it, Plugo. No, sir, I don't like it. So, otherwise it'd be so much more fun to play pretend. So much more fun. God, these liberals. I don't even want to I don't even want to play these freaking clips of Trevor Noah and the Grammys and all this other just whatever this is. It's just nonsense. These award shows are nonsense. But it is hilarious that the buyer's remorse with Mondami only took 31 to 32 days. Yeah, I feel that, my friend, maybe you can identify as a billionaire, but just have a few bucks. No, the account also has to identify. It has to coincide with my identity. Because billionaires can get loans. They don't just buy everything cash. They never spend their own money. That's why they're so rich. They spend the bank's money. So that's what I need. I need an account that the bank accepts the identity of. Same with the credit score. We got to even the playing field, man. Equality. It's all about equality. Are we really for equality? Oh, Abby Phillips. Why do you embarrass me so? But would you agree? Would you agree? The bank has to accept the identity of the account as well, because the two things, they go together. Did you guys see this? Did you see this clip of Ilhan Omar getting water sprayed in her face? These are the these are, these are assassination attempts. This is what is this? Did you guys see this? I heard about it. I didn't really see it. And she doesn't have security? Because it looked like she almost like tried to chase after the guy herself. Let's see this.
Without evidence, the president is claiming the attack against Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was staged as he mocks her. When asked about last night's assault, Trump called her a fraud and claimed that she probably sprayed herself. So, I guess perhaps unsurprising that Trump had that point of view. It was also echoed by Laura Loomer, who we know has a lot of influence in this White House. She says, "This is the most staged thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm calling for an immediate investigation into whether Ilhan Omar..."
Well, calling her a fraud, I think, is the nicest thing Donald Trump has ever said about Ilhan Omar, because he has been using her as a verbal punching bag for years now. But, you know, to me, what's ironic about this, and it's just, you know, it's wrong. And what's ironic about it, though, is when Donald Trump had an assassination attempt during the campaign, there were fringe conspiracy theorists who claimed that it had been staged to help his campaign and help him win the presidency. Something I think is insane. I saw no Democratic elected official amplify that. And what the president of the
Okay, lady.
United States did was call Donald Trump. What the vice president of the United States did was call Donald Trump, check in on him, and offer their solidarity and the investigation by the federal government. It would be nice if Donald Trump, instead of starting a conspiracy theory, would do the same, would call up Ilhan Omar on the day he's saying he wants to de-escalate things in Minneapolis, call her and say, hey, you know, we've had words. We may not be the best of friends, but what happened to you is wrong. And the federal government is going to investigate.
Is that too?
Did Ilhan Omar call the president when bullets whizzed past his face? What is this woman talking about? This fraudster Ilhan Omar had some alkaline water sprayed on her face. The threat was so minuscule. I mean, here we go.
Without evidence,
you gotta. It's so fast. You gotta catch it in the beginning.
Without evidence, the president is claiming the attack against Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Without evidence, the president.
Are you serious? A gentle stream. If anything, he might have just cleansed her brow a bit. We're acting like this is an assassination attempt. Are we serious?
The president is claiming the attack against Democratic Congresswoman.
And then not. She gets up and then comes after the guy. This like.
Without evidence, the president is claiming the.
If she catches up to this guy, what does she think she's about to do? And notice, did this guy even stand up? We have two men in the frame. I'm going to assume that this guy right here, man as well. No, three men. We have bald nigga, bald nigga, bald nigga, bald nigga, bald. We have him. We got cameraman with what could be considered a weapon. And then we have, soy boy, but he's there. I'm assuming this is a man right here. Let's see who moves.
Attack against Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was staged as he mocks her. When asked about
Okay, so homeboy finally manages to get up after he's
without evidence,
he's
the
almost like,
president is claiming
not gonna
the
get into
attack
it, huh?
against Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was
okay.
staged
All right,
as he mocks
yeah. Okay, yeah.
her.
I'll go see.
When
what's
asked
going on.
about last night's
Incredible. And she wants calls of condolences. It's adorable. That's adorable. We're going to be like, it's not far-fetched to think that stupidity was staged. I mean, like, what are we doing here? You got up there and sprayed water on her chest? Oh, man. You got up there and sprayed water on her chest. Oh, boy. Oh boy, people. What a world. What a world we live in. Total insanity. Total insanity. I didn't watch the Grammys. I don't know if you did. Looks like ABC getting sued for lying. ABC. So apparently they told some, nonsense story that a 5-year-old was detained by ICE agents. Just the lies of the left is just it knows no boundaries. It just, let's see this.
The growing outrage in Minneapolis, the images of a 5-year-old boy returning home from preschool, detained by ICE. Agents taking the boy and his father into custody. Vice President J.D. Vance in Minneapolis today.
Wait, wasn't this the one where the dad ditched his kid? And they just left him with the ICE agents, and they're just like, it's just like, what the heck? Let's get this kid some McDonald's real quick. And I think this was that instance.
Defending ICE agents, claiming they were protecting the child, saying, what are they supposed to do? Matt Rivers in Minneapolis again tonight.
Tonight, the haunting images sparking a firestorm. A preschool boy standing in Minnesota cold.
Do you see what they're doing? This is the story. I think this is the one where the dad fled and just left his kid there with them. Just like, good luck, son. Pew. That's why the agents are like, what is bro, your kid? I believe they took pretty good care of him too.
Swept up in the ICE crackdown. School officials say 5-year-old Liam, wearing his blue hat and backpack, and his father, Adrian Alexander Conejo Arias, had just pulled into their suburban Minneapolis driveway Tuesday when agents took that father into custody. The school then saying an agent essentially used the 5-year-old as bait, directing him to see if anyone else was home before taking the boy away. The district saying Liam is among 4 students recently detained.
The growing outrage in Minneapolis, the images of a
All lies. All lies. Hoping that you just see that. Don't look anything up. Don't confirm anything. And you just get mad and turn into some Malibu Barbie or your Honda Civic or Toyota Corolla Liberal, and you're out there irritating the general public. So don't be that stupid. Very important. Very important. Gang. What did we learn today? We learned that
Down with deportation!
most of this is an act. It's not organic. Not organic at all. You Karens are out there acting complete and total fools.
Taste the biscuit.
When you could be,
Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
you could be making bops like this.
Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce.
Could be singing about the honey sauce.
Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
You could be a treasure like this woman. You could be a national treasure like this woman and her man on the ones and twos.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the butter spread.
The butter spread,
Taste
guys.
the goodness of the biscuit with the butter spread. To get your butter spread all on me. I don't like the way it...
Bars. Total bars. You guys could be doing that. You could be warming the hearts and minds of the masses, singing about the biscuits with the honey sauce and the butter spread on the biscuits. But no, you want to be out there screaming in bullhorns in the middle of the night, irritating a bunch of police officers, probably a few of them on a double shift. They just want to go home, but now they got to be out there smelling a bunch of musty liberals, screaming about a bunch of nonsense. Some of them looking like, just kind of like this woman. A lot of them, though, malnourished because they're not happy and well-fed like this gem. Singing about
mixes with my mac and cheese. Cause when you're at KFC, you got that special sauce to stir my curiosity.
That's right.
Just give me a 5-piece meal. Oh, what a deal. A big old box, it's all for me.
Heck yeah.
You know I'll take coleslaw on the side.
I love it. I love it, gang. That's what you guys need to be doing. That's what we need. We need more of that. We need more of that. All right? That's what we need in this country. I'd rather watch Don Lemon singing about honey sauce on the biscuits than have him storming churches in Minnesota with a bunch of just people who didn't take their meds. Okay? It's about the honey sauce, people. The biscuits and the honey sauce. All right? Serious stuff.
But I'm going to start with an unpopular opinion, and that is calling Don Lemon a journalist is like calling AOC a free market capitalist. He is an activist. Look at his YouTube page. Here's a couple of titles of recent videos. 1, this is how to deal with ICE goons. 2, the viral MAGA idiot. 3, Don goes off on MAGA and
So
ICE.
is it your
This
position
is someone
that
who is not a
anybody
journalist. He is an
is
activist.
it your position that anybody who expresses
go with Abby.
opinions is not a journalist?
Well,
is
even
that
if
your
he
position?
is, even if you
no,
agree,
I mean,
hold on.
well, let's deal
Even
with
if
with the accusation that you're making that he is not a
I think
journalist.
he
It's
shed the
important
veneer of being a
because,
journalist a
because
long
we
time
have
ago.
in the press a lot of different kinds of journalists. The Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the New York Post, they've got editorial boards where people are expressing opinions all the time. They're not journalists?
I think that Don Lemon is not a journalist.
But why?
But
Is it because
Because he's not.
Is it because in his view?
If you
No, because he's not. Because he's not. He is an activist. He did not go in there as a journalist. He went in there to help push an agenda. It's the same thing. He's of the left. He is not independent. He's pushing an agenda. He's not looking for truth. And he never has been. He claims to be Christian. No Christian would have done what Don Lemon did. I don't care how righteous you think the cause were. All right. There are churches out there that are not preaching the gospel. And Christians know it. And you can drive past some of these churches and see it. Are Christians storming those churches? Even if they are teaching a false doctrine, are they storming in those churches and you're teaching a false doctrine and interrupting their no. That is something a Christian would not do. And in a Christian nation, you cannot allow that kind of crap to happen. White people, you guys need to get a little backbone. You cannot let people chase you out of your church like that. There's a reason they picked your church and not anybody else. There's a reason why they didn't pick a mosque. There's a reason why they didn't pick a black church. There's a reason. Stop pushing this hippie Jesus. You should have been ready to flip tables and fashion whips, chase those people out of your sanctuary, not the other way around. So get it together. Oh, Joe, I didn't even see you step through, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. All right, so come on, Minnesota. You got to be Crusaders. Get it together. You got to be Crusaders. All right.
In your view,
if
he's
you believe that
expressing
he
an
is,
opinion?
if you believe that he is a journalist,
But why?
I still think that he
Pete.
is wrong in this instance.
Pete,
If
but
you
you're
look
not
at the
saying
times
you're
when
not-
journalists-
you're not saying
I just
why.
don't. I think he's an activist.
Well, but you just don't is not.
I just told you why. He's not a journalist, and he is in fact an activist. And I hope they throw the whole book at him, because you can't have that. You cannot have that. A serious precedent has to be set. You cannot have it. You cannot have it. You cannot have it. People are really going to get hurt. And it's not going to be the Christians. This is not Nigeria. So don't get the Crusades activated again from America. You saw what had happened with Europe. Ooh. Did Alex Jones just get busted? Ooh, Alex, say it ain't so. Alex Jones looks like might have just got busted, falling for some AI scam. Oh, Alex. Hold on. Before and I really got my start with all of this with Alex Jones. He's really what just activated me many years ago. Dang, Alex. I don't even want to play it. If it's fake, I don't even want to play it. I don't even want to put anything that's nonsense out there, even if it's Alex Jones falling for it. I don't want to put any light on anything that's a hoax. But dang. All right, gang. I think that's good enough for today. We're definitely going to be back tomorrow. Same time, 5 p.m. And just kind of wrap up the week, even though it's the start of the week. But because of the work schedule, I usually, if I do go live during the week, it's late. Like, what the heck is that on your ear? Like about 12:30, 12:45. So, if you follow and you're up late night, feel free to jump on in. But I think I've had enough of liberals for today. And the Grammys is starting to sweep the news feed, and I'd honestly rather stare at pictures of the 9/11 hijackers than watch the Grammys. So, I don't know about you guys, but I don't give a damn about an award show. Not ever since Will Smith did the slap that was heard around the world. All right, friends. Yep. I think we can call it there. I'm not seeing too much more on my news feed. I'm not seeing any breaking news. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good for the day. So you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Appreciate the follows, Wisdom, and the plug. Appreciate you both. Welcome to the crew. Thank you for joining in on the conversation. We're going to have many, many more as we just hopefully rise out of the pit that has become idiocracy. This country, the documentary, the active documentary that it's been. Hopefully, we can rise above it and get common sense back on the offensive. That's our mission here. Getting common sense back on the offensive. All right, everybody. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow at 5. Love you. Be safe out there. Don't go full liberal. Don't go full liberal. All right. Take it easy. See you soon. I don't know who DePlugo is.
One of them, Daniel. He said he was trying to watch.
What? How you know?
Because he called me.
What did he say?
He said that he was trying to get a hold of you to watch the stream, and then he asked for the link.
Oh.
So one of them was him.
Oh. Oh, you gave him a link? You gave him the link? Is there poo diapers in the trash? But it smells over here.